That's pretty good. With the manga dice up on the hill. Some cavalry down on top. But they get cleaned up easily because they just focus the stable. Now we can... But I think they still got it. Yeah, that's pretty good attack. Damn, they're fighting all over the place. What a start to our quarterfinals. It's normally not that explosive. But I think the red team has a pretty good lead here. The Teutons have split up their forces, battling on two fronts. We got a castle holding the ground. It's fighting all over the place. Also on top. It's hard to keep track of all the action that's happening. But that's what you want to see in the quarterfinals. The best teams of the tournament facing each other. And so far, we don't seem to make any ground. In terms of economy, you're pretty even, but the blue team has a slight lead in military. Pulling ever so close, but now going into the range of the castle. So the Tatars have the defender's advantage. But the Mongols are pretty heavily on the siege here. Now going in with a capped ram. And they clean up this castle. It's gonna... I don't think it's... Well... No, they got... The villager got taken out. And so did the ram. So they held on. And I think the game evens out a little bit. We got a blue team still with the advantage in the military strength. Oh, now comes a big force. Quite a few champions and the trebuchet from a safe distance. Yeah, I think this castle's gonna fall. And now the numbers are really dwindling for the red team. Yeah, I think Vikings Teutons. But man, this game started off hot. In minute 6, we already had the whole map engulfed in fighting, in war, and that's what you want to see. But yeah, I think it's just cleanup time. But surprisingly, each member of the blue team has won their side. They pretty much based on 1 versus 1 against the opponents of the other team. Other than the slight split at the start. So that's boding very well for the blue team. I'm not sure what the game plan is. The Mongols are out. So what the game plan is for the next game for the red team. Because this game they lost on both sides individually. And that's not what you want to see. But yeah, as I said, I think Viking students are pretty strong contender. And that's what they have shown us in this match. But it's not over yet. It's a best of 3. So the Tatars and Mongols can make a comeback. Now the town center's under siege, and that's the game. GG for the blue team. The Vikings and Teutons take the first game. So yeah, let me back to lobby. No, not too low. Statistics. There we go. So I'll update the leaderboard and the scores. In the meantime, we got the Viking students winning the first game. In how much time? 16-15. It's a pretty fast game. But yeah, it's not over yet. We still have possibly 2 games. All right. So that's the first game. Viking students winning with a pretty good performance. I don't know how the 2000 Mongols want to come back from that. It was a pretty decisive victory for the blue team. Well, yeah, let's go right into the second game. I think the teams are warmed up for now. So let's start it. IWT 1. Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI tournaments. Quarterfinals. Match 1. Vikings Teutons against Tatars Mongols. It's 1-0 so far in the best of 3. Let's go. There we go. All right. So this time we have different spawns. Blue team is now, well, Teutons are on the left-hand side of the map, tucked away in the corner, and their teammates up in the top hand side of the map are the Vikings in blue. In the red, we have the Tatars on the right hand side, and also pretty tucked away from everyone. We got the Mongols on the bottom left hand side, so they're pretty far away from their teammate and pretty much everyone else. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they strategize this game. Taking a look, it's quite hilly, covered in hills as the base. Gonna be interesting to see if there's gonna be any fishing going on. But we already take the first relic, it seems like, for the Vikings. Well, I think this game could have a slower start than the first game, but don't mock my words. Just hammering away at the gold mine. Are we moving out? Oh, there's some tension on the map. I don't know what that strategy is. Spreading out all the champions. That's interesting to see. I guess they just wanted to scout, spread out. But now they go into formation. You already have 2 trebuchets. Oh, they mean serious business. They wanna win their quarterfinals as soon as possible, but the Tatars on the other side are prepared. And that could be a pretty good choke point. Or in general, pretty interesting place to start. You can wrap around those 3 lines, go through the water. Nothing happening on the other side of the map so far. It's also a pretty cool formation, this half circle. Oh, nope, I thought we move out, but that's quite a formidable force. Got some manga dice as well as hussars. They went with a other team composition in the last game, so maybe they adapted. But yeah, this game starts slower than the game before. I think both teams know what's on the line here, and they want to approach it carefully. But I think the blue team Vikings and Teutons are good with that. I don't think the castle placement is the best when the enemies are pretty much not gonna attack this part of the map. I think it's gonna happen all in this area here. When maybe if the Teutons decide to just march up the map, then they have a pretty good castle. But the castle placement of the Teutons pretty good. Pretty much have to wrap around either on the left or the right hand side of the lake. But I think we are moving out. Yep. The Teutons mean serious business. Got good siege equipment, 1 trebuchet, 2 mangonauts, onages already, and the ram. But look at that. And on the other side of the map, the Vikings also move out. They must have communicated that they both went out the exact same moments, and let's see how this goes. In terms of the numbers, we are pretty even. Both are above 200 military units, and that's a big fight. We have 2 trebuchets going down. What are we attacking? I don't even know what they target. But I think that's a good fight. Let's go to the other side of the map. Oh, there's fighting all over the place. Oh, that's a huge fight. And it seems like Tatars and Mongols. I think this could get pretty ugly pretty soon. Look at the numbers. They are dwindling. They are almost double the size in the military. Yeah, I think that's a win. So in the first game, Tatars, the Vikings and Teutons were super aggressive, ultra aggressive. They attacked in under 6 minutes. And now this game we have taken it slower. We boomed a little bit. And it seems like that's gonna be good for the red team, the Tatars and Mongols, if they can do that. Yeah, this... Why is this game paused? Oh, never mind. Yep. That is gone. The Vikings are done. And I think the Teutons won't have much to say to that. Their castle is falling. They still have another one, but yeah, no chance whatsoever. What you want to do against 4 capped rams, siege rams? Look at how that castle is melting like ice in the Antarctic. But yeah, that's gonna be a quick game, or not a quick game, but a huge victory for our red team. So we go to a game 3 in our first match in the quarterfinals. I almost thought it would end up one-sided, but I'm glad they took the fight and made the comeback. It's only a matter of time. So that's super interesting. Because in the first match, the Vikings and Teutons, when they played aggressively, they also won by a landslide. We have 1 military on our map for the blue team. Yeah, that's interesting. But if the red team can just boom in the end without the Tatars and Vikings, the Teutons and Vikings going aggressive in the start, that could make it. So they have to decide what they want to go for next. It's gonna be up in the air who wins the next game. They both won the games decisively. Yeah, that's 50-50, I think, who wins next. But let me update my spreadsheet. What was the time? Got 18:47. 2 minutes slower than the last game. But still, the fights went beautifully for the red team. All right, go back to the lobby. So that was the second game in the best of 3. It's 1-1. And the next game is gonna decide who moves on to the semi-finals So we got Vikings, Teutons against Tatars and Mongols going up against its 1-1. And let's go. All right, we are in the game. I'm so glad that Capture Age now works with offline games and even AI games. That wasn't possible half a year ago. So shout out to the dev team of Capture Age. I appreciate that. It's making my life easier. But look at what was that? That sound. But yeah, look at the interesting positions on the map. Even the castle placements. We got a little triangle, a Bermuda triangle, right in the middle of the map, and the red team pretty close together. Blue team a little more spread out, but Vikings have a pretty good potential to just flank the Tatars. I can't imagine that the Tatars and Mongols try to strike together the Teutons on the left hand side of the map. Let's see how that unfolds. So this whole area could become a massive battlefield real soon. Let's see what they do. So in the first game, Vikings Teutons played aggressively right from the start. They attacked in under 6 minutes. And it went pretty well for them. And in the next team, we got a slower game at the start. So that means we could have more units on the map. And that went well for the 2000 Mongols. Let's see. Oh, we're moving out. We are moving out. Going in with 4 rams. Quite a few champions going up against light cavalry. Let's see how that goes. And there's another fight breaking out up on the hill on the top hand side of the map. The light cavalry against cavaliers. I don't think the light cavalry is gonna take that. But that's a messy fight. I don't know who wins that. We are trying to take out the rams. That's pretty good, and they need to do that. And they take out most of the force of the Vikings. But on the other side of the map, the Teutons win. That's massive. They have taken the hill, so that's gonna give them a pretty good advantage. On the other side, the fight is died down. So just fighting up on top. But the Tatars now send some units to help. So that's pretty good team play. The Vikings could move out because the base, there's nothing in the base. Never mind, they move down again. So team play of the Tatars and Mongols in game 3 is pretty good. They move back and forth, going with the tide of the battle. For the Vikings and Teutons, not so much. They fight individually mostly. So far the numbers are pretty even. We got around 60 to 70 or yeah, units per team. But now I think the Tatars lose the fight down on the bottom. That attack wasn't too impressive. We got a trebuchet slowly moving in, taking out this stable. But we got another fight breaking out in the top. The numbers are still pretty even, especially in the economy. But it seems like the Vikings slowly make ground. But again, the Mongols sent some units down to help the teammates who were struggling. And now the tide moves again. The team play is phenomenal for the red team. But still, the numbers are going up for the blue team, who are just muscling through on their own. No team play whatsoever. Just brute forcing their armies against their opponents on the other side. So, despite going back and forth, sending units left and right for the red team, it's not enough. But 3 trebuchets now on this castle. They were trying to build another one, or are trying to build another one, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. And we still are fighting for this hill on the top side of the map. Teutons going ham against the Mongols. Mongols trying to hold on as best as they can. This castle has fallen for the Tatars. And the other one got cancelled. And that's gonna be scary. We got 3 trebuchets now. And remember, we only need to take out the town center. It's sudden death in this game mode. So you need to come up with something. But never mind. What am I saying? We have over almost a 100 units up against 22. I think the Viking students have done it. And now look at that. Despite the little fighting that is still going on, what do they want to do against this? We're still taking our time. Got 4 trebuchets now. Trying to sneak in some rams on the top. I don't think that's gonna make it. I think it's only a matter of time, but that was a pretty cool game. We went back and forth. The strategies from the Tatars and Mongols from the red team were pretty interesting, helping each other out, but it wasn't enough in the end. And interestingly, Viking students, they don't need team play. The Vikings just set their sight on an opponent. The Teutons set their sight on another opponent, and they just muscle through with individual strength. So I think that's scary if they can just win fights on their own with good consistency to boot. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the game soon. We only got the Mongols left in this game. Got 8 military units for the red team. There's nothing left but dust from the Tatars. They have fought valiantly, but Yeah. Oh, now we are moving in. Look at that. Look at this force. Where are these units coming from? What is the stream of units? Insane. Yeah, this castle is gonna fall soon. Look at all these rams. It's a scramble. But I think they're just taking a victory lap. The Viking students make the quarterfinals, go up into the semifinals. Congratulations. That was the longest game of the 3 we had today. 21-25. The Vikings, MVPs in the lobby. Yeah, the Tatars, pretty underwhelming, I must say. Mongols put up a good fight on the top side of the map, but the Tatars fell too soon. Well, yeah, let me update my spreadsheet. 21-25. And the victors are Vikings and Teutons. All right. So, take a look at the standings. Got Viking students 2-1 against the Tatars and Mongols. Viking students in the semifinals. And our next match is gonna be Hindustian, Saracens, and Slavs and Aztecs. Gonna decide who will face up against the Vikings and Teutons. It was pretty interesting set. It went back and forth, but yeah, Viking students edged it out in the end. Congratulations. So let me set up our next match. Industrial Saracens, Slavs and Aztecs. So be right back. All right. The lobby is set up and good to go. But before we head into the game, just a quick reminder. Slavs, Aztecs. Why they could be in the quarterfinals. Because when we look at their individual performance in the first tournament, the very first AoE AI tournaments, Slavs got 3rd place. And the Aztecs went out in the... Yeah, also made it to the semifinals. So Slavs, Aztecs... Never mind, what am I saying? Slavs and Aztecs went up against each other in the bronze match. So Slavs 3rd place, Aztecs 4th place. And now they are a team. And in the second individual tournament, All Civilizations 1 vs 1 AI tournament, we have got another story. But Slavs made it into the quarterfinals. And the Aztecs sadly lost in the round of 16. But yeah, the second tournament was pretty interesting. We had quite a lot of quite a lot of upsets, and Malians made it to the grand final, surprisingly, out of nowhere, as well as the Portuguese. But yeah, just Slavs, Aztecs, they both individually perform on a very high level, and they formed a team now. So yeah, that's interesting to think about. But what am I saying? Let's go to the map. Just a primer what could happen here. Just an easy win for Slavs and Aztecs as a dominant team. But Hindustani and Saracens, not to laugh at. So yeah, I think we are good to go. Let's go into our second match of today in the quarterfinals of the IWT 1, the Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI tournament in Age of Empires 2. Hindustani and Saracens up against the Slavs and the Aztecs in game 1. Let's go. We are in the game. There we go. Open up Capture Age. And what do we have here? We got in red the Slavs on the top left side, or pretty much at the top in the map. And on the left hand side, their teammates, the Aztecs, in orange. Down in the bottom right hand side, we got the Hindustians, formerly known as the Indians, as well as the Saracens up in the right hand corner. When we take a look at the map, it's pretty interesting to see the lake formation here. They are pretty much boxed in, and they could have the terrain to their advantage with all these choke points. Narrow, look at that. You can go with a sneak attack through that. They have closed the right hand side and as well as the left hand side, so only the middle part is open. That could be the entry point for the red team. But let's see what the strategies are going to be. So far, not much is happening. We have a few boyars for the Slavs. And what do we have for the Aztecs? I'm not sure. Well, units will pop out eventually. Oh, got champions. There we go. Are we moving out already? think the Saracens want to go aggressive here. Make the first attack. They just come from the top, right hand side, and they get greeted by 2 castles and quite a few boyars. Somehow they are taking out this lumber camp first, while quite a few units die in front. That wasn't... Yeah, they get cleaned up and pushed back pretty easily. This attack has not worked at all. Well, that's it. But we are still even in numbers in terms of military strength. And look at these siege elephants. Majestic. Hindustanis. But the map has calmed down again. No whoa, never mind. What am I saying? Look at the stream of units just trickling in. I think they could have just focused. That's like the worst tower defense game you ever want to play. Look at that. They just get cleaned up. They come in one by one. These elite golems just... What are we looking at? What are these attacks? And now we just move out. Nothing happening on the other side. So our first best of 3 was super competitive. This is just wild. But let's see what happens. We have a big fight breaking out. Nothing happening up top, so we can focus on what is happening here. The castle is super far away, so no help there. And I think this attack is pretty effective for the Hindustanis. Can they push back this blue ball of death? Look at these siege elephants going ham. It's a scramble. Still nothing happening on the other side of the map. And now, look. Oh, that's gonna be close. That's gonna be close. They need to take out these elephants. No! The Aztecs going down in crumbles are out. So it's only the Slavs. But fun fact, the same thing happened another time in the tournament, and the Slavs actually won the game 2 versus 1 against 2 strong performance. The Aztecs went out pretty early, and the Slavs just didn't care and just won it either way. And look at that. What a force. They are insane. Can they do something here? They wrap around these lakes on both sides, but they have to fight 2 armies at once, as well as take fire from this castle. So far it's gone pretty good. Look at this cluster of units. There's more units trickling in. Nope. Do they Get it. Retreat. Now they move back again. Maybe they just wanted to go out of range of the castle. It's fighting all over the place. But I think if they want to win this game somehow, they have to do it fast. I don't think they can sustain a fight against two max out armies in the long run. But it seems like they are gonna get pushed back. So no, probably no miracle victory for the Slavs again. It was insane to watch it when it happened for the first time. But maybe they... Look at all these castles. That is insane. They just need to turtle. Turtle, move out, take a few troops. But they have to be wary of trebuchets. Of course. A little scramble down here. But yeah, I think in the long run this will be too much. We're 110 units, military units, up against 116 for the blue team. I think this could be the last attack. They are going all out with all of the units. Can they make something happen here? We have 3 trebuchets and we are pushing. We are actually pushing back. Look at the numbers. It's 114 against 120. How are these Slavs doing this? And they still have to hold on the top hand side of the map. This is insane. But now they get cleaned up again on the... Now it swings again. Maybe it was too soon. Party. Yeah, now the numbers are on the opposite side again. How did it swing so fast? When it evened out as fast. But look at all these castles. That's insane defense. As long as no trebuchets are trickling in, they can... No, I don't think they can do anything. What am I saying? What a game. What a game. "22 minutes in, it felt like 3 hours. Yeah, now all these rams. 12 military units for the Slavs. But man, imagine the Aztecs holding out a little bit longer. That could easily be the win for the red team. And the Slavs are just so scary. How do they do it? How? Yeah, that was the first game. It started off pretty weirdly, but it all made it up in the end. So let me update the standings as well as the spreadsheet. I'm still updating my spreadsheet. Sorry if it's taken quite a while. Well, have a look at the statistics. The game ended in 23-25 and was a win for the Starnies. And I'll quickly have to do a adjustments. There we go. All right. I made all the updates. It's always quite tricky to do everything myself, including updating all the spreadsheets and brackets and OBS and whatnot. But we are getting there. So Industrian Saracens are up 1 game against the Slavs and Aztecs, and if they can make the upset here, it's gonna be wild. So to see that maybe happening, let's go into the next game. It's the best 3 in the quarterfinals of the IWT 1. Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI Tournament and Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm your host Wizwag, and with that, let's go. There we go, we are in the game. What do we have? Look at that. They're just boxed in. They have all the advantage in terms of defenses. But let's see what we got. We in red, we have the Slavs on the left-hand side of the map. And on the far right, we have the Aztecs. Pretty far away from their teammates. Closer together are the Hindustanis. In blue on the top right hand side, and on the top left we have the Saracens. So let's see how they open up the game here. Oh, this mining camp is looking cool. I didn't even notice the new architecture for the Hindustanis. That's interesting. I like it, I like it. I like the houses, especially. So what are we going for in this game? Oh, can I get this scout? Nope. One head away. Is this gonna be a debate? Look at that. They just chased the scouts and ignored each other. Now there's a scramble going on. That was funny. just ignoring each other, just going for the scout. But look at that. The small fight won by the Saracens. With their elite Mamluks. But yeah, that's probably not vindictive of how the game is gonna end up. But Hindustar Saracens are up one game. If they win this game, they move on to the semi-finals, going up against the Teutons and Vikings. We have a pretty good performance in their quarterfinals. Look at all these monks. That's interesting. I have not seen this many so far in the tournament. Could be a new strategy. Let's see how it works out in the end. But it's pretty quiet still. We are building another castle in the same location. But look at that. That's... You're not going through that. And I think that's a pretty good location too to hold. Because you pretty much have to wrap all around just to get into there. You could do it with a little sneak attack. But now, oh, we are moving out. The Slavs make the move. No defenses whatsoever on this side of the map. But look at that. There's so many Mamluks with the range advantage, and they easily push back the Slavs. Yeah, that's a pretty bad matchup for them. Still nothing happening on the other side of the map, just chilling. Taking out the ram. Now going onto the counter attack, it seems like. They have the advantage in terms of numbers. The red team is still in the lead by almost 20 units somehow. Now it's slowly dwindling and evening out. Damn, these Mamluks make work. But they don't have any siege equipment with them to take out this castle. Oh, we have some obelisks. Taking out some villagers, disrupting the economy. Oh, never mind. We have a big fight happening on the top left-hand side. 3 trebuchets. Those 2 castles, which I would have thought were a pretty good investment, are going down fast. Yeah, look at that. 3 rams to boot. Damn, they just decimated. So for all the times the Aztecs went out early, they have redeemed themselves with this attack. Look at that. And as long as the Slavs just hold on, having these little skirmishes is nothing compared to just obliterating your opponent on the other side of the map. That is crazy. Those numbers went down fast. And now the town center is under siege. And I think there's no chance whatsoever to even come back. Yep, 1 shot. And that's it. Turn to map. So Hindustanis are out of the game. Now it's up. all for the Saracens up to grab. They go on a huge attack, a last ditch effort. Still no siege equipment, just the last units they could have mustered up. And it seems like they are getting pushed back They are getting siege from the other side. Yeah, I think that's pretty much lost at this point. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, that game is over. So again, Slavs Aztecs make the comeback, evening out the score. It's 1-1 in the series, in this best of 3 in the quarterfinals. And that's what you want to see. Back and forth games, close series. Yeah, that's gonna be the game. Pretty soon. 10 units up against 180. That's no 300 here. Look at that. They just got ran over. 3, 2, 1. That's the game. GG. Got MVP by a landslide, the Aztecs. Most of the time, they just go out early in the tournament or in the game. Just 7 minutes in, random rush down, they lose the game. But now they have redeemed themselves and got the MVP in the game. Oh. Alright, let me update all the scores and the leaderboards and the spreadsheets. And then we move on to the third game of this set. What was the time? 16:24. That's a good time. And while we are at it, let me quickly change the playlist. Oh, whoops. What do I want to do? There we go. Epidemic sound can still be pretty random at times. But here we go. I've updated all these scores. It's 1-1 for the Slavs, the Aztecs, as well as the Hindustanis, and the... Where are we? The Saracens. Let's go into our lobby again. So there we go. It's 1-1. This game decides who goes on to the semifinals. In the IWT 1, the Imperial was 2 vs 2 AI tournament in Age of Empires 2. And yeah, let's go. Third game. Pretty good games so far today. We still have 2 more matches after that, so just stay tuned. We are in the game. Here we go. So, in red, on the left-hand side of the map, we got the Slavs and their teammates. On the top left-hand side, got the Aztecs. And the other team on the top right-hand side, we got the Saracens. And down on the bottom right-hand side, got the Hindustanis, formerly known as the Indians. Pretty even spawns, it feels like. No one's too far out of the way or too far away from their teammate. That can happen sometimes. So let's see how each team opens up and who goes first to the attack. And have fun, good luck pronouncing this name of the general of the Aztecs. I'm not gonna attempt it. But pretty calm so far. Just slowly building up the economies here. Most of the fighting begins at around the 5 to 6 or 7 minute mark. And we are approaching that fast. As you can see, we are going into formation. Doing a little bit of scouting. And got taken out by 2 shots of the castle. Yeah, not much info gain. Maybe they saw quite a few of those units, but nothing else what is going on in the base. This time the matchup is reversed pretty much. So the Slavs went up against the Saracens in the last round and they lost. The Mangadais were too much against the Boyars. It was a pretty bad matchup. Maybe they can do more against the Hindustanis. Oh, I think we are moving out and we have the first fight. They have the hill advantage. It's 25% more damage. But now closing in, chasing down a villager and now flanking from the right hand side. We got 2 monks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 monks, 8 down the left, and we are cleaning up. They took the hill and just stormed down. Nothing happening on the other side of the map. Now going into the raid of the castle, but they don't seem to care as much. This is a massive fight. They're fighting all over the place, but maybe that's the strategy they have to go for. It seems to be in favor of the Aztecs so far. But we have the... Oh. They attempted to build another castle. It got taken out. Oh, this ram assault. Yep, they got the rams at least. So this castle is safe for now. And I think they held on. Yep, they held the attack. So no disaster here. Maybe they go on a counter attack. I don't know. And still nothing happening on the other side of the map. They're just chilling. Having a good time down there. Letting their teammates duke it out on the top. It evened out. As well as we look at the numbers. 118 to 126 units. That's... Yeah, no... Not even close. The economy is slightly in favor of the red team. And I think, yep, look at that. We are going onto the attack. This time the Hindustanis move out and they get greeted by A storm of boyars. Look at that. I think, yeah, not even close. Look, they just get pushed back easily. No, no, they try to diverge. Going from the top and the bottom. And it seems like they win both sides. Oh, I think the Aztecs wanted to help, but yeah, they just... yeah, they just go to the top. And look at that. We are moving in here. There's 2 castles. A third one on the way. Can they get it up? Yeah, I think they can get it up. That's gonna be strengthening their defenses. Now surrounding the castle, what's going up in the top hand side? Another scrambly fight. So many units. But look at the numbers from the red team. 117 to 57 units. I think that's gonna be a win for the red team. They are just ruthlessly destroying the Hindustanis here on the bottom side. So even if this battle is close, I don't think it will be enough. They try to hold on. Take the hill advantage with the ranged units. But look at it, all these castles are falling. And they don't even have siege equipment. They just circled around with the boyars. We don't need rams or trebuchets or anything else. We have our boyars. Oh, now there's a trebuchet. I'm gonna say it. And yeah. The Hindustanis got taken out. Quite convincingly. And I think that is gonna be the game. And the Slavs as well as the Aztecs go to the semifinals. But that's what I would have predicted. Slavs and Aztecs are consistently in the top in the individual tournaments. So they make a pretty good team. It was close for one game. But they pulled back, pushed back. And now the victory is on the horizon for them. There's so many units going ham. There's some weird graphics there. But yeah, this game is over. Just doing a victory lap. Pretty much. Just take out the town center and you gotta win. But now they have to clean up everything they see. 3 military units, 30 workers on the map for the blue team. And that's gonna be the game. GG. The red team make it to the semifinals. Slavs and Aztecs. This time Slavs are the MVPs, so their first win the Aztecs got the MVP and the second win the Slavs, so nothing too one-sided. So let me update the score and the leaderboard as well as the spreadsheet, and then we take a look at where we are at this time. what was the time? 1957. The average time. But it's still a win for the Slavs and Aztecs. All right. Let's take a look at the leaderboards. Got on our first quarterfinals today, Vikings, Teutons 2-1 against the Tatars and Mongols, and Slavs and Aztecs 2-1 against Hindustanis and Saracens. So that's going to be a pretty good match because both Vikings and Teutons and Slavs and Aztecs looked phenomenally throughout the tournament. And they are, all four of those civs are pretty strong individually in the individual tournaments. There's multiple tournament formats. And this time it's a 2 versus 2, the first team tournament we had so far. But we still have 2 more matches to go. And the next one is Chinese Magyars against Byzantines at random. So random means random selection of any civ. Yeah, it's pretty funny gimmick. Everything can happen. And they made it to the quarterfinals. Funnily enough. But I have to say, Chinese and Magyars are looking so good in this tournament. So I personally have them predicted in the grand finals, Chinese and Magyars. So let's see how it goes for the Byzantines and random. Maybe they can pull an upset, but I am not sure. But let me set up the lobby for our next match, and then we are good to go. There we go. The lobby is set up. We got Chinese and Magyars against Byzantines and random. It's funny every time somehow. For those who are joining, we are starting in the Imperial Age. So yeah, pretty much in the late game. We started in the late game. All the fancy units, unique units. That's always fun to see, going crazy fast into huge battles right from the start with all these unique units. In a team format, it's 2 versus 2. And we are in the quarterfinals. In the third match, we have Chinese Magyars against Byzantines and random. Game 1 in the best of 3. Let's go. We go. We are in the game. So let's take a look what we have here. So on the left hand side of the map, we got the Chinese in blue. And up in the top left, we got the Magyars. And then on the other side of the map, we got the Cubans. They have their own documents. It was a random selection. And the Byzantines, their teammates, they're pretty close together. Maybe that can come in handy. And also the castle placement is interesting. So they have both sides covered, both fronts. But so have the Chinese and the Magyars. Let's see how they open up. From experience, Chinese Magyars are pretty aggressive. And I just love the sound of 50 Chukanus going ham at the same time. And of course, the Magyars with their hussars. And also I think the part of why the synergy is good with the Chinese and Magyars is the mobility and the range they have. The mobility with all the hussars and then the Chukanus. For the range combat. Yeah, they make a pretty good team together. We are taking a relic home. But we are moving out. Alrighty, Magyars make the first move. And what do they? They go right down the middle. To the Byzantines. They launch a dual attack. Or maybe not. They're scared. Nope. Abandoned ship. I think that could have gone pretty good for them. But now their tactic is revealed. Maybe can set up some defenses. Nope, just building a house. Okay, interesting to see they just backed off from this attack. I think that could have gone well for them. Maybe they just want to build up more units, some siege units. Maybe they didn't want to lose all their units to the castle. Still early in the game. We are building a second castle on the top in the same corner, as well as the Byzantines. So it could mean they just want to turtle, go on the defense, hold the fronts, but not sure. What do they want to do, the Chinese and Magyars? Interestingly enough, the red team is leading in military units. Quite a few, actually.
Food, please.
And I still wonder why they held off on the attack. They had the Magyars coming from the top and the Chinese coming from the left. And they could have just ran down the Byzantines. Because their teammates, the Cumans, weren't seen anywhere. But they decided to go against it. And now, look at that. Look at these numbers. We are approaching 200 military units for each team on the map, and I think we are moving out now. So that's gonna be our first big fight up on the top. And look at all these all these hussars. Taking the hill can be pretty important, but they are going up against some Kipchaks. which have the range advantage and they can fight back. Pulling into the 2 castles, that could be devastating, but the Byzantines help out. But not too long. Listen to the sound. It's just heaven. I love these 2 canoes. But can they make something happen here? Look at that. The Byzantines are getting the Magyars are getting pushed back on the top hand side of the map. And I think on the bottom, Byzantines against Chinese is pretty even. Few units down there. But most of the 2 canoes, if they can get the hill with the range, could be pretty good. But look at that. They are swarming this base. Are the Magyars out? Remember, you don't have you just have to clean up the town center. It's a setting sudden death, and I think the Magyars are going out here. Yep, Magyars, and it's almost an upset because Chinese Magyars looking phenomenally in this tournament. They were dominant throughout, won all 4 games in their group, but now struggling against the Byzantines and the Cumans. But Cumans were selected randomly. Next game could be something else, but yeah, I don't think. Yeah, look at that. All these skipjacks coming from the top now. Only 1 castle to hold off the push. And we have seen comebacks. 2 versus 1 comebacks in the tournament, but it's quite rare. But I don't think it's gonna be this time. And we are just waiting for the end of the game. So yeah, Byzantines and effectively random have won the first game in the quarterfinals. It's a best of 3, so nothing decided yet. Chinese Magyars can always come back from that in the next game. In the last match, the Slavs and Aztecs also lost their first game and won both games afterwards, so nothing is decided yet. But it's always good to see who takes the first game, who has the lead. But now we're near on the end. We just need to destroy this town center and it's the game. Yeah, decisive victory from the red team. It's good to see. So many units. They don't even know where to go. Yeah, GG. Byzantines and random drawing the Cumans in this time. And they were the MVPs indeed. So, yeah, random can be anything. That's pretty funny. Yeah, let me update the leaderboards and the scores and all that, and I'll leave you with the statistics for now. And I'll be right back, of course. What was the time for the match? 1851. All right, noted that down. And I think we are good to go into the next match. See, second match in the set, best of 3. There we go. We're in the lobby again. Chinese Magyars against Byzantines and random. And random is just play as a random civilization, which hasn't been selected yet. Yeah, 2 teams. It's 1-0 for Byzantines and random, the red team. And let's see if the Chinese Magyars can make the comeback or if they go out early. Well, quarterfinals isn't early in the tournament, but you know what I mean. Let's start a game. There we go. We are in the game. To switch the... Well, we go. So, what do we have here? We have in blue, down in the bottom of the map. Pretty far away from everyone else, to be honest. We have the Chinese and their teammates in the far, far left. The Magyars. And then on the other side of the map, we have the Byzantines and their teammates. Remember, they were random. They have drafted the Tatars. So in the game before that, it was Cumans. And now they are Tatars. Let's see how that shapes up to be. Byzantines on their own are pretty strong unit. Civ, not unit. But yeah, this team always has the element of surprise. But I'm interested to see how this shapes up to be with the Chinese down in the bottom. They're so far away from everyone else. Maybe they can use it to their advantage. But I think the Magyars have to do work to defend. Or maybe they just attack each other. So Chinese go up against the Tatars on their side of the map. That could also happen. Let's see how it goes. We already have a trebuchet and a few SARs. And those two are pretty close together. So it could be a fight breaking out. And I think they are getting ready. 2 trebuchets. Packed up and ready to go. What will the answer be of the red team? In terms of military units and economy, it's still pretty even, but that's suspected at this stage of the game. We are building up all our forces. And let's see how these strategies are shaping up to be. Oh, we are moving out. Look at this storm. All for SARS. Ramming right into the castle. But there's no... Where are the units? There's no units here. Now, some cataphracts are going in. Oh, they got... I think they got caught out. Those trebuchets are pretty interesting. Why do they focus the archery range? That's so funny. There's a castle to be taken. But well, if it works, it works. So far it looks pretty good for the Magyars. And nothing happening on the other side of the map, so we can just focus on this scrambly fight here. That's the complete opposite of last game and all the games before, but it seems like it's working. Oh. Unsure what to do for a moment. But I think, yeah, they can just stay in the base, clean up the villages, and take the economy. In terms of numbers, it's not too far off. But nothing has happened with the other two civilizations on the map. But I think the Byzantines are pretty hurt at the moment. This one-on-one, who wins? Oh, it's gonna be close. No, I think they think the castle can take this win. This win. Flip. Close. Now more units are coming in. Have they held their town center? And they have. That was close. But can they? Oh no. Yeah, there's... What's going on here? Alright, alright, alright. The castle is falling. Yeah, I think the Byzantines are pretty lost. And it's interesting to see that on the other side of the map, there's nothing happening. Absolutely nothing happening as of far. So 12 minutes into the game and they haven't moved an inch. But it looks pretty bad for the Byzantines, and it's soon becoming a 2 versus 1. And that's not what you want to see when you're the red team. Yep, that's it. Byzantines are out. They haven't put up much of a fight, so I'm not sure what's up with that. And now we are moving out. Now the Chinese take their turn. Can the Tatars make something happening here? I don't think so, but never count them out. 2 trebuchets in the mix. Not all the units are there yet. That's a massive fight. But so far it looks pretty good for the Tatars. They're fighting on both sides, and now the Chinese get pushed back. Can they take out the trebuchet? Yep, they can. Oh, they actually won the fight on their map, on their side of the map. But will it be enough? If they can make this upset happening, it's... I don't even know what to say. Because if they win with this game, they just move to the semifinals. So yeah, let's see what happens. But if they want to have a chance to winning this game, they have to rush down the Chinese before their teammates, the Magyars, come to rescue. And I think it could happen. We are in the base, and we are even leading in military numbers. That's so funny. Oh boy. Now the town center's under siege and the Magyars move out. Oh, they go to the counterattack. Do we have a base race? Town center's under siege. Oh yeah, they just sneak right behind them. Oh, they want to rush down too. Oh, that's gonna be close. Oh. The Chinese got taken out and now it's 1-on-1 in this map. And the Magyars want to end this game as soon as possible. Can they do it? Let's go. Now the Tatars move north. Can I get the castle? Castle's still pretty healthy. We have fights going on in the middle of the map. It's chaotic. Look at all these places. There's fighting here. There's fighting there. The whole map is engulfed with fights. Look at there's so many rams. As well as trebuchets. Insane, what's going on? Oh, the castle is falling. I think the Magyars have the upper hand here. They can just move in, take out the town center, and you have the win. Tatars, nowhere close. They have three castles to go through until they reach the town center. Only a few units here. Most of the fighting is going... Oh, wait. There's not much happening in the base. Have they pushed back? Yeah, there's so much chaos on the battlefield. It's unsure what is happening. The Magyars have the lead in military units. So I think they can just slowly push to the win. Oh, we are in the base again, yeah. Yeah, I think they have it. Oh, that was so close. But we will go to a game 3 in this series. What a game. Yeah, they have cleaned up all the units. Look at... What is this expansion? Look at that. They're all over the place. But yeah, now they're onto the town center. And it's only a matter of time. Here we go. That's the game. We even out the score. It was close. There was potential for a upset, an insane upset. But the Magyars didn't make it happen. They moved out at the right time. That was necessary to win the game, I think. Yeah, pretty good game. Pretty long game. 24-25. One of the longer ones. Not the longest one, but... Oops. Alright, let me update the score. I'm sorry, I'm confused. So 1-0 for the Chinese and Magyars, and now it's 1-1 in this best of 3. The next game decides it all. What was the time again? 24:25. All right. Let's go into our third game. So far, all the quarterfinals matches and the best of 3 have gone to the third game. That's exciting to see. But we have one more game for the third set. We have Chinese makers going up against Byzantines and random. They had the Cumans in the first game, the Tatars in the second game. They won the first game and lost the second game. And let's see how this third game is gonna be. It's exciting. But yeah, let's just go into the game, see how it goes. And we are in the game indeed. There we go. So what are the spawns? We have on left hand side of the map the Chinese in blue. And on the top right hand side we have the Magyars and sign. They're pretty far away again from each other. But on the other side of the map we got the Byzantines in red. And their teammates. Now the Khmer. So Cumans first game, Tatars second game, and Khmer in the third game. Let's see what they can do with that. I feel like the Chinese have been underperforming quite a bit in this quarterfinals. They look much stronger in the group stage. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's the nerves. Maybe they just have a bad day. But Magyars doing just fine. Again, going with the setup, trebuchets and hussars. Oh, sorry. Still cool. Oh! They go for scorpions. Interesting. Scorpions and battle elephants. That's an interesting combo. Let's hope it works out. But we are moving out again. The Magyars always storming right into the heat of the battle. Striking early. I think they can take out the few units, but they have to be careful to not sit under the castle for too long. Now the Khmer move out to help the Byzantines. And I think that's much needed. We have trebuchet already going at the castle. Chinese don't do anything so far, so I think that is gonna get cleaned up here. They still could take the castle. Nope, they pack up and leave. Don't lose the trebuchets. So that was important. The Khmer moving out to help their teammate. Otherwise, this castle would have gone down pretty much. But, oh, they have to be careful. Now the Chinese strike. And they have to go onto the defense now. And I still love the sound. They have a pretty good arc. But the battle elephants, they're just cleaving through these Chukanus on the other side. They're just not even close. Yep. Both turn back. I think today the synergy that made Chinese Maggers so good is, I think it's not there. They have to fight more as a team. The Maggers with their Hussars in the front, and the Chinese with the Chukanus in the back. But just Chukanus, especially against battle elephants. It's good luck with that. Well, let's see. I think, yeah, the game evened out. We're back to square one. And there's so many units. Holy crap. Let's see what they can do this time. I think they need a stronger front line. Oh, now they have the halberdiers. What's the name? And that's much better. Look at that. The battle elephants now falling one by one. But the Byzantines help out again. The team play is so good from the red team. Always there when their teammates need them the most. But that could be the time to strike for the Magyars, but they don't do anything. And now the Chinese get pushed back. It's still even in terms of military units, but that's not good. The Magyars just sitting back is doing nothing right now. But the Chinese, they just push through. Yeah, they basically just... Oh, never mind. Magyars now on the rise. Yeah, the Chinese basically won against two armies on their own. And now it's the Magyars' time to clean up the rest. They have the lead now. It's 190 almost against 127 units. Yeah, look at that. There's more and more units coming in. They're trying to flank. But as soon as they move out, the Chinese go onto the counter attack. And look at that. There's nothing here to defend. So what is gonna happen? Yeah, they realize they have to go back. See your teammates, I can't help. I have to defend myself too. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the game for the Chinese Magyars. An insane performance by the Chinese. Especially when I said I felt like the Chinese were underperforming, and they just do that. And even though the Meggers laid back for most of the game, they are doing some work on the other side of the map now. And they are winning both sides. 175 units for the blue team up against 30 for the red team. And look at that. That is just going down fast. And that is the Khmer out of the game. And the Byzantines holding on to their last leg, trying to do whatever they can. But yeah, the Chinese now moving out, coming from the left side. And there's no chance whatsoever to turn this around, sadly. But Chinese Meggers, they got it together after losing the first match and won both games afterwards. Yeah, just focusing this castle, but it's going down real fast. Swarming. There's nothing left other than workers, 90 workers, but nothing against 180 military units. So yeah, this town center, when this town center falls, we had another team in the semifinals. And that is the game. This time Chinese make the MVP, but it was close with the Maggers actually, so they both did their homework and edged out the winning game. 22 minutes 31 seconds. Yeah, let me update the score. Let's go to the standings. What was the time again? 22:31. All right. Let me make that bigger. 22:31. And that's Chinese Meggers again. All right. Chinese Meggers win the set. Wait, what? Wait, what? Should be fine. All right. All right, Chinese Meggers in the semifinals. We have both teams, Viking students and as well as Slav Aztecs, already waiting the match. And now we have one more game to go. One more best of 3 in the quarterfinals. But before we get to that, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna fill up my water. And yeah, be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm hydrated and ready to go for the last match of today. Let's set up the lobby for that. So what do we have? We have the fan favorites, and to be honest, my favorites in the whole tournament. The team of the Goths and the Koreans. Such a fun team to watch. And up against the Bohemians and Bulgarians. So this is the first tournaments with the newer civilizations. And they drafted their team to get up. The Bohemians and Bulgarians. Where are we? Bohemians. The polls went out early, sadly. The newest civilizations aren't in the tournament. This tournament started last year, actually. Took a while to get to this point. But yeah, the next one will have all civilizations, including the newest one that came out just, I think, 2 weeks ago. But we have a match on our hand. Last match in the quarterfinals. Goths, Koreans, Bohemians, Bulgarians. It's a best of 3. It's 0-0 so far. And yeah, let's start the game. We are in the game indeed. So, on the left hand side, we have the Bohemians in red and their teammates Bulgarians in orange, just north. And of course, on the other side of the map, we have the Koreans. And down in the bottom right hand side, we have the Goths. The Goths are known to be very, very aggressive. So let's see what they do. Luckily for their opponents, the distance between the bases is not too close. So it's gonna take a while to get there if the Koreans, the Goths decide to rush down again. And the last matches that they had, the Goths were just insane with their aggression. They took out an opponent in 7 minutes. So yeah, let's see what they decide to do this game. But this time it's the quarterfinals. You have to be a little bit more careful with your strategies. And of course, with only 8 teams remaining in the tournament, it's the 8 best teams in the tournament, so. But it seems like they just don't care. And they are moving out again. And that's an interesting matchup. Bohemians with their Hussite wagons up against some champions. Wait, those are champs and they didn't go for their signature unit. That's interesting. Didn't even notice. But you have to mix up your strategy. And maybe they thought it would be more effective this game, especially against the Bohemians. So far it's looking scary. There's the castle up on top, but they just don't care if they can just take out everything around the town center. Oh man, the Goths are just ice. No fear whatsoever. On the other side of the map, they don't even know what's happening. Look at that. The town centers... Bohemians are out in 8 minutes. The Goths. How do you want to stop that? I mean, at this stage of the tournament, the Goths are known to go for that, but yeah, I think you need to prepare for that more. But they just ran down the Bohemians, and there's no other civ that does that in this tournament. They're just ruthlessly rushing down their opponents, and now it's just a 2 versus 1 from here on out. Oh boy. They can make an upset in this tournament. If they go to the grand finals or even win the tournament, it's gonna be insane. The Bulgarians try to somehow push back, but what do you want to do? And now even the Koreans move out, so it's a 2 versus 1. They come in with the wagons up on the top. There's 2 castles down here, but oh, now the Goths retreat for a moment. Well, they have done enough, I think, in this game. And now it's up to the Koreans for now. It would be so bad if they just lose. I think they're losing the fight. Well, most of the units aren't there yet. Oh, there's so many onages. It could be some huge shots. Look at that. But wait. Bulgarians are doing quite a lot of work here. Will it be enough though? Oh, they are in the base. Where are the Koreans, the Goths though? I think they move out. Do they go to the counter attack? Yeah, if they just move out and attack, where basically nothing is at home, it's just gonna work out. So they just sacrifice the Koreans. Look at that. That's just a massive army of champions. And some halberdiers, but yeah, Koreans got taken out. Now it's 1-on-1. But the advantage is definitely on the side of the Goths, I think. Let's see how it goes. I think, yeah, just trickling in all these units one by one wasn't the most effective, I think. But now the siege equipment comes. And the Bulgarians are trying their hardest to make something happen here. And they have a trebuchet at half HP. And another one down here. Didn't even see it. Can they take down this castle fast enough? Oh, they're retreating. Because, yeah, their town center's under siege and one more shot. No, one more shot. Oh, that's the game. We almost missed it. That's why they retreated. Because they panicked. The Goths! Damn, that was close at the end, actually. The Bulgarians doing some work, but yeah, with the Goths, just... Yeah, look at that, but Bulgarians even got the MVP in the game. Insane comeback, but... Yeah, nothing you can do to it. Goths Koreans just take the first game. Even though it was close. So 1-0 so far. And what was the time? 16:58. What do we have? We have the Goths Koreans versus Bohemians Bulgarians. Yep. Just made sure I wrote that right. Goths Koreans win the first game, and I think can win the next game too if they play it right. But so far, all the matches we had today went to the third game. So he cannot be short. There we go. We updated the spreadsheet. And let's set up the lobby for our next game. So, this is potentially the last game for today. In the quarterfinals of the IWT 1, the Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI Tournament in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm your host, Wizwag, and yeah, let's just get right into the game. Let's see what we got for this game. Goths Koreans just look phenomenal. Very unique team. Go into the game. Go. So, let's take a look at the spawn, and the spawns are interesting right from the start, but good. Down in the bottom right hand side, we got the Goths in blue. And on the other side of the map, up in the top left corner, the teammates, the Koreans. Then on the other side of the map, on the top, we have the Bohemians in red. And again, going To far right hand side of the map, we got the Bulgarians. So this basically turns the game into 2 1 versus 1s, I think. Because both are pretty close together. And we could potentially have the Goths up against the Bulgarians this time. And the Koreans against the Bohemians that have struggled against the Goths in the last game. So maybe that's going to be an advantage for them. And what is that? An archer range. Alright, alright. Subscribe. Don't have money. Look at that. We are already ramping up the military units again. I think that's the Goths. And we are going for the champions again. Are we moving out? Wait. Are they marching across the map? Yeah, they sent some units to distract the Bulgarians, and they just move across the map because it worked the first time. The Bohemians were helpless. So instead of going to the close opponent, they just march right across the map. Can they hold on? It went pretty bad for the Bohemians last game. They just got rushed down endlessly. Got taken out in 8 minutes. Now there's a castle up front, but already a trebuchet. But I think this, yeah, that's much better than before. Yeah, I think marching across the map hurt them, and they also spread their units to hold off the Bulgarians. So this rush wasn't as effective as in the last game. And now they are quite the predicament. Now the Bulgarians are in the counter-attack. Slowly marching into the map, and they still have to go home. The castle isn't doing much. Mostly out of range, and now they run down the base. Can the Goths hold off this attack? Now the ramps are coming on, but it seems like they don't have much else to go. In the meantime, the Koreans are as defensive as ever. No care in the world. Oh boy, there's 2 trebuchets going down fast. Yeah, 1, 2, and even this castle. So this time the strategy absolutely backfired for the Goths. They are known for their rushes, but yeah, I don't know why they marched across the whole map when they could have just gone to the right a few meters. But well, that's the Goths out of the game. Turn to map. There we go. And now it's up to the Koreans. But look at the numbers. 65 units to 122. Even though they have quite a few siege onages. And now they are moving out. But look at that. There's so many wagons. It's a wagon against a wagon. The most epic fight in Age of Empires history. But now they have to defend from both sides. Bulgarians. They have 3 castles though in this position. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough. 2 trebuchets are firing down into the distance. So far they are holding on. It's 75 to 140. Can they turtle it out? Yeah, the numbers are dwindling. There's just too many units. They could get a few good onager shots. There we go, 2 go down. But yeah, the numbers are still going down, so I think that's gonna be yeah, look at that. Now that's coming too. So again, we go to a game 3. All the series today went to the third game in the best of 3. No one-sided victories. As we are witnessing the demise of the Koreans. Yeah, the Goths, that's the thing, it can backfire sometimes. Most of the time it works. There's rushing strategy, but this time it was held off. And now just have to focus on this town center. Because as soon as this goes out, it's game. Or focus on the castles. Still standing. But I think that's melting. Just so many units. What do we want to do? 1 unit against 165. Yeah, they just gave up. They just FF'd. Let's go to the statistics. MVPs are the Bulgarians. And then these games today are close. Let's go to the women's Bulgarians. And what was the time? Time was 1925. And again, we have 1 more match to go. Second. did go to the Bohemians and the Bulgarians. And oh boy, they have to get it together in the next round, the Goths and Koreans. Otherwise, they are getting upset on. Because Goths Koreans are by far the fan favorites. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. So let's go back to our lobby. Alrighty. So the lobby is set up and good to go. This will be the last game for today. Well, I'm not playing. It's playing. The Goths and Koreans up against Bohemians and Bulgarians. It's 1-1 in the best of 3 in the quarterfinals of the IWT 1. The Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI tournament in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm your host Wizwag, and with that, let's start the last game of today. Here we go. Let's see, what do we have? We have the Goths on the right hand side of the map in blue, and their teammates, the Koreans, on the left hand side, top left hand side. And on the other side we got the Bulgarians. What is the sound even? Well, never mind. That was confusing me because that sound didn't exist like half a year ago. I swear. Yeah, we got the Bulgarians in orange in the bottom left hand side, and their teammates, the Bohemians, in red, of course, on the right hand side. And this time, this could get scary again, because the Goths very much like to rush down their opponents, and with this distance to the Bohemians, it's gonna be scary. In the first game, they rushed down the Bohemians. In 8 minutes, they took them out, and on the second match, they tried to do the same, but they had to march across the whole map for that, and in the end, the early rush got defended, and they won the game with that, because yeah, the rush just didn't work out. But now they are pretty close together again, and the first time they just didn't have a single chance. It didn't. Yeah, no say in this whole conversation. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this shapes up and what the Koreans, the Goths try to do. The Koreans, they always sit back and relax and watch from afar. They're pretty defensive. So the team dynamic of the Goths and Koreans, the Goths super aggressive, the Koreans just defending all day. That's super fun to watch. But what is that? This is the first time I saw the Koreans go out this early, but there it is, the rush from the Goths. What can they do? They are in the center. They're trying to take out the villages. More units are trickling in. Again, they did go for the champions 3 times in a row. Not going for their unique unit. And it is looking pretty good. And oh, the Koreans are moving out too. It's the first time I saw that in all games so far in this tournament, that the Koreans did something before the 20-minute mark, basically. And it's a joint attack. They want to go to the semifinals. They want to win the game. It's the third game in the series. In this best of 3, this game decides who moves on to the semifinals. And the Bulgarians are indecisive. They didn't know if they should help their teammates or go to the counter attack. But there's quite a few units to defend and 2 castles already. And yeah, the Bohemians are out. Didn't even notice it. But yeah, that's the rubble, the ashes of a lost war, staring down the abyss. So that's Bulgarians do some work, at least. But I don't think there's any saving that. Koreans now going back to the defense as usual. And the Koreans out on the map as usual. It's so fun to see. But I wonder why they didn't go for their unique unit today. The Goths, that is. Normally they do that, but yeah. Oh. Somehow they felt the champion was the right choice today, and there's one last big fight. The Bulgarians do some work, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Now the Koreans come from the top. So even if the Koreans, the Goths would lose all the units, it's probably won't matter. It's 85 units to 147 at the moment, so you have to pull out a miracle. And we are fighting on 2 fronts, interestingly enough. Oh, not doing anything, but they have defended the hill. But yeah, I don't see a way out. They're up 100 supply military units, the blue team. And yeah, Bulgarians had to resort to cheap skirmishes now. All their expensive units are gone. And I don't think they have... Yeah, they don't have much resources left in the base. There's a little bit of gold in front, but... Well, 3 castles, but 3 trebuchets. Rams incoming. I think that's gonna be the game. One last push for the Goths and Koreans. On the road to the semi-finals. But all the matches today were close. All best of threes went to the last match. They went the distance. So no one-sided victory in the quarterfinals. That's what we like to see. But yeah, now it's just going downhill from here. There's nothing left on the map to make something happen, and they just GG. They forfeit the game. And yeah, Goss MVPs again. And that's the thing with them. They're super risky. They play super risky. Most of the time it works out. Sometimes not, but most of the time. And I think that's gonna be enough. Until they meet the strongest opponents in the tournaments. But so far it went pretty well for them. So Goss on the attack. They rush down their opponents, and the Koreans just sit back, boom, build up their economy and the defense, and yeah, it seems to work pretty well. It's a pretty unique playstyle. Yeah, the time was 70-18. So let's update our scores. Goss Koreans 1-2 sets, 7 scores. And we have our semifinals set. So to recap, we had the Vikings and the Teutons 2-1 against the Tatars and Mongols. Then Hindustani Saracens sadly lost their match against the Slavs and Aztecs 2-1 also. Then Chinese Magyars came up on top against the Byzantines, and Random didn't make the cut. I think the first game it was Cumans, the second game was Tatars, and the third game was, I don't even know anymore, something else, but it didn't work out. Khmer was the last random drew. Then in last set, Goss Koreans, which we saw just now, 2-1 victory, winning the first map, losing the second, and winning the third again with their signature unique playstyle. But semifinals are gonna be Vikings Teutons against Slavs and Aztecs, two very, very strong teams. Of course, it's the semifinals. There's only 8 songs left, but both are looking phenomenally throughout the tournament. And then on the other side, Chinese Magyars and Goss Koreans, and both teams have looked rocky at times because they have quite a few. They have unique team dynamics, and Vikings, Teutons, Slavs, Aztecs, they are both more rounded out. But that's gonna be a good matchup. Both of these matchups are pretty good, because that's gonna be solid gameplay up there, and that's down here is gonna be a mess. I think Chinese Magyars and Goss Koreans gonna be fun, of course. But yeah, that's it for the day. We've been live for almost 3 hours now. Played through all of the quarterfinal matches. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Semifinals coming up maybe next week on Saturday. So if you want to join that and witness that, that's good to go. You can always drop a follow and see if I'm live, of course. But yeah, this tournament, it's the first team tournament I've hosted. Normally it was all 1 versus 1. But yeah, it's fun. It's another dynamic. especially starting in the Imperial Age. Pretty much right in the late game. There's not much downtime at the beginning of the games, so it goes right into the action fast. So it's a fun format, makes for some interesting games, especially with the teams and the matchups and all that, and all the unique units interacting in a large scale. Yeah, good format, good tournament so far. Some surprising results, some expected results. But yeah, I'm Wizwag, and this was the Imperial Wars 2 vs 2 AI tournament, the IWT one. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.